Hello and welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. We are going to be previewing the game between Chelsea and Barcelona in the Champions League round of 16 stage. This is the big one, the one that we've been all waiting for. We haven't beaten Chelsea though in a competitive match since 2006, and Lionel Messi, of course, is yet to score against them in 8 different meetings. But you know what they say, eventually all things must come to an end, and tomorrow will we finally see the lightning strike. It is Chelsea against Barca, and we're going to have the full preview coming up for this game very, very shortly. Firstly, guys, as always, the previews coming to you courtesy of the OneFootball app, which you can find in the description down below. 72% of the 160,000 people who've got involved on the app believe that Barcelona will beat Chelsea tomorrow. OneFootball, of course, a great way to stay up to date with the news coming up to that game, the lineups and the in-game stats from this Champions League clash. And in my own poll on the channel, guys, in my community section, thank you as always for getting involved. The majority of you believe that we will win tomorrow by a single goal. 48% of you right now believe that we'll win by a goal. 40% of you believing that we'll win by 2 goals. 9% of you believing that this game could be a draw, and not many of you at all. Great to see a lot of people believing here we're avoiding defeat and not going to lose to Chelsea. The kickoff time will be 7:45 local time here in London, and here, as always, guys, is the times right across the world where you are in terms of the kickoff. And for me, when it comes to the Champions League, this kind of competition, this kind of matchup, there's nothing quite like this. The big occasions, under the lights, in the evening, got the floodlights on, the stadium's filled, the atmosphere, when the pressure is really on, there's nothing quite like the magic, the beauty of the UEFA Champions League. And in terms of Chelsea against Barca, this is by far one of the fiercest matchups when it comes to Champions League. We've met Chelsea 12 times competitively since the year 2000, both in knockout rounds and in the group stage as well, and every single meeting you can bet is fiercely contested. You know, there's strong challenges, red cards, there's penalty kicks, there's controversial decisions, and there's memorable moments on both sides. Both of these clubs will come into this game believing that they can both win, but obviously at the end of it all, there can only be one winner, and who is that going to be? And with those historic meetings in mind, guys, obviously in the lead up to this video I've spoken about the tactics, I've spoken about the whole dynamic of this game, and what I want to do today in this video is first of all take a look at the previous meetings between ourselves and Chelsea to help understand what these kind of games entail. And let's go right the way back here to the year 2000 when we faced Chelsea at the quarter-final stage. We actually lost 3-1 in the first leg of that game, and things looked really, really bleak. But a sensational turnaround in the second leg. The game on the night at the Camp Nou ended 3-1. It went to extra time. Barcelona ended up winning that game 5-1 after extra time. Rivaldo scoring twice in that match, and therefore progressing to the semi-finals with a 6-4 aggregate victory. And then there was the 2005 quarter-final encounter, which saw us win the first leg at the Camp Nou with Maxi Lopez and Samuel Eto'o replying to Giuliano Belletti's own goal. So we won 2-1 at the Camp Nou in that first leg game, but in an enthralling second leg, which sadly saw us eliminated. Chelsea completed the turnaround, winning 4-2 on the night. The goals from Heidegger Johnson, Lampard, Drogba, they saw Chelsea 3-0 up with just 20 minutes gone. And even though Ronaldinho scored twice before half-time, which included one of my favourite goals of all time when it comes to Barcelona, an absolutely sensational goal from the edge of the box, which defied gravity, which defied anything football has seen, the way that he got that ball somehow into the back of the net. Sadly, we did end up going out on that night. It wasn't to be, with John Terry making it 4-2 in the second half and giving Chelsea a 5-4 aggregate victory, and on this occasion, Chelsea went through. But again, it flipped again, and it was our chance to shine in 2006, which of course was the year that we went on to beat Arsenal in the final and lift the UEFA Champions League. But before all that, we had to oversee Chelsea once again in that quarter-final stage, and Barca claiming an impressive 2-1 away victory in that first leg. John Terry's own goal and also a goal from Samuel Eto'o gave us those big 2 away goals. Del Horno was also sent off on that night after a young Lionel Messi ran rings around him and gave him absolute nightmares in that that game, and we then secured our path to the semi-finals with a 1-1 draw at the Camp Nou, confirming our status, overcoming Chelsea with Ronaldinho once again among the goal scorers. And again, another flip, another switch. We once again went down to Chelsea in the following season after winning the Champions League. We faced them in the group stage, where in both encounters we failed to get the better of Chelsea in either game. We lost 1-0 at Stamford Bridge, and even despite leading twice at the Camp Nou in the other fixture, we were held 2-2 at the Camp Nou, which saw it actually finish second in our Champions League group, with Chelsea coming in first. And you see what I mean here? As we're going through these games, right from many years ago, it goes one way and then it goes another. Chelsea have their moment and then we get our revenge and then we go again, and vice versa. So you can see the pattern that is emerging right here. And up next, I'm sure that you're all going to enjoy reliving this clash from 2009. Once again we overcame Chelsea, and again we went on to win the tournament. When we beat Chelsea, there is a good chance that we go very deep into the Champions League. We met Chelsea this time in the semi-final stage. We drew 0-0 at the Camp Nou. So going into the second leg, it was all to play for at Stamford Bridge. Very little separating the two sides, and when SEN rattled home a sensational volley in truth after just 9 minutes at Stamford Bridge, it was really looking bleak for us. How are we going to get back on level terms? Could we get that all-important away goal? And then the game went on. Of course, there was a number of questionable refereeing decisions on both sides. That has to be said. On both sides, there was handball claims that was waved away for Chelsea, but there was a red card issued to Eric Abidal, and very dubious offside decisions as well in that game. But of course, there was one man that was going to step up and decide this game in the dying seconds when his team needed him most. Andres Iniesta, the man for the big occasion, stepped up with one smooth swing of his right foot and hammered home a strike past Petr Cech in the dying seconds of this fantastic encounter, which I've said before, that is probably my favourite Barcelona goal of all time. Iniesta putting that past Chelsea. There was no time for reply. Chelsea collapsed at Stamford Bridge, quite literally too. The players did not know where to turn, and Iniesta and Barcelona were victorious that season under Pep Guardiola. A historic moment, a sensational goal. And once again, another shift, another momentum shift. This time it was Chelsea's chance to shine in 2012. This one we're not really going to enjoy as much talking through. Didier Drogba's goal on the counter-attack gave Chelsea a 1-0 win at Stamford Bridge in the first leg, once again at the semi-final stage, in a year that once again Chelsea this time went on to win the tournament after getting past us. But in the second leg, everything seemed to be going to plan at the Camp Nou. That was the thing. Everything was going quite well, as we hoped that it would. John Terry was sent off. He had a knee in the back of Alexis Sanchez. Chelsea were down to 10 men. They had suspensions. They had injuries. Everything was looking good when Busquets and Iniesta gave us the goals to put us 2-0 up. But a sensational lob. It really was a terrific goal from Ramirez, and then a missed penalty from Lionel Messi shocked the Camp Nou, and somehow we ended up being eliminated from this game, which I think, along with our Champions League exit to Inter Milan and Jose Mourinho, of course, that was probably one of the toughest ever defeats for Barcelona from my perspective. That was really difficult to take. How we could even lose that game, I didn't understand, and I still don't, to be honest. Chelsea got the better of us there. But as you can see, guys, the game certainly twists and turns. Every single meeting, it's one way or another. In 2012, it was Chelsea's turn to shine. Now, in 2018, is this our moment? And is this the moment for Lionel Messi? One thing that we can absolutely guarantee when you look back at those meetings, when you look back at those games, this is going to be a very difficult game. It doesn't matter about form, it doesn't matter about the players on the pitch. Every single game we play against Chelsea is never easy. We're going to need to be somewhere near our best to progress here over the two legs. And I think the one thing that we have to do tomorrow, we have to absolutely make sure we score first. Now, it seems easy to say, it seems very simple to set up that way, but if we can score tomorrow, it will give Chelsea an absolute nightmare in this game, and Antonio Conte will not know what to do, because all they want to do in this game is come into it, sit back, be organised, be defensive, not allow us any spaces. But if we were to score first, we'd completely wreck their game plan. We'd force them out of their shape. We'd make them do exactly what Conte doesn't want to do, chase the game. We would force them out of their shape, out of their comfort zone, and especially with the likes of Dembele, who could come off the bench in the second half when those spaces kind of appear, and we could really take advantage of that. So if we can score first, we have a colossal chance of getting through this game. But on the flip side of that, if we allow Chelsea to take the lead here, if we concede the first goal, we have a serious problem, because as we've seen in previous games, they're very difficult to break down even at the best of times, let alone when you give them something to protect. If they have a 1-0 scoreline here, if they get the first goal, it's going to be very difficult to get the better of Chelsea. Of course, you'd still have hope that we could do it, but ideally, get that first goal, force Chelsea out of their shape. And like I say, guys, I have spoken in a lot of detail about the tactics, about the lineup, about Valverde's selection in the lead up to this video. So if you haven't seen it yet, please go and have a look at my tactical preview of this game where I'll talk about it a lot more. But this is the team that I think Valverde will field tomorrow. Ter Stegen, Alba, Umtiti, Piqué, Sergio Roberto, 4 then in midfield, Iniesta, Busquets, Rakitic. Now, Sport are reporting that Andre Gomes will start tomorrow after apparently in the last few weeks Valverde has rested him. He's been keeping him for this game, and apparently Gomes will start in the right of midfield in tomorrow's game with then Messi and Suarez ahead of him. And I want to talk now about my match prediction, and I cannot decide whether to go for a 1-0 win or a 2-0 win. I'm actually very, very positive right now. I said 2-0 against Eibar, and somehow it happened, and I would absolutely love it if I said 2-0 again and it came true. So I'm going to go with that, because I think personally we can score against this Chelsea team. This is not a defensively solid Chelsea team that we've ever seen. We've come up against the likes of Terry, Lampard, Drogba, all in their prime, under really tough coaches like Jose Mourinho, who can really park a bus and it's impenetrable. I think in this game, though, we can definitely score. And if we can get that first goal, like I say, draw Chelsea out, I think we can actually win by 2 here and kill the game in this leg. It would be a dream scenario. It's me thinking very, very positively, but I just got that feeling that we can get the job done, and I would absolutely love it if Messi was the man to do it. Messi tomorrow can get that goal, and we can beat Chelsea. Leave all your thoughts and your predictions down below, guys. Who do you think will be starting this game? And also, what do you think the score will be tomorrow at Stamford Bridge? Can we win this one? And if so, how many are we winning by? I will see you tomorrow for the game. Hopefully we're all celebrating after it. If we are going to have one hell of a party. I'll see you soon. But until then, as always, Vasca El Barça!